Welcome to the Electric Current Rundown podcast, episode number 1. And I'm your host, Phil Defiance. The things that I'm going to be talking about in this episode include time spent near water and its health benefits, why workplace well-being programs don't achieve better outcomes, and also thoughts on why maybe you should be letting your teenage child to go work, because there are some benefits. But either way, I want to say, when it comes to this podcast, I'm here to encourage the spread of intriguing knowledge that can spread fires in the minds of those seeking inspiration and truly improving the world. But since this is my first episode, I also wanted to add a few things. This is a 15-minute episode. I haven't really fully made commitments 100% on content length, but this one will be 15 minutes. But I have a feeling I'll be sticking with 15-minute episodes for a while. I haven't fully come up with a solid schedule at the very moment. This is my first episode, and I'm just releasing it real quick tonight or today. But either way, I'm going to continue thinking about that schedule, and I'm going to update my website, electriccurrentrundown.com. So if you want to see more of me and my podcast, check out my website, because over there you can find my schedule, and I'm going to come up with a solid schedule very soon. But either way, let me get right into the first topic. So when it comes to water, and health. That's an important topic. A lot of people are having concerns about health because a lot of people are having health issues nowadays. Some people are dying suddenly. Other than that, there's people with strokes, heart attacks, and cancer. All those things are up. So, maybe you're lucky, and I hope you are. Maybe you haven't had any of those kinds of health issues yourself. Or maybe you have, and that's depressing. But, even if you haven't had those kinds of health issues, of course you want to avoid those. So that's why health is an important thing. And, there's been a lot of studies that have shown that going in green spaces like forests and things like that have been proven to be good for the health. Yes, of course. By this point, a lot of people know that. But, there's new studies out now that show that water is actually even more beneficial to the health than even green spaces like forests are. And that includes oceans. Oceans are actually number one. But, yes, even lakes, rivers, canals, even fountains. Yes, even those, which surprisingly is a fact. All of those, actually, they're good for your health. So, go to waterways, water areas like that, and then you'll experience the benefits from that, like health benefits, which is definitely a good thing. So you should be doing it. And not just yourself, you should even be advising your loved ones to do it. I'm not saying go to a water area like every single day. Of course, people got their own schedules, and you can't commit to going to a water area like every single day, but try to do it even once a month, or once a week if you can. But once a month at the least, it's a good thing for you. It's proven to be truthful. Check it out, look it up. Either way, even more interesting is taking a look at photos of water, like a waterfall or rivers or lakes or anything like that. Even taking a look at photos actually has been proven to be good for the health. So, at the least do that, and that's pretty interesting, isn't it? Yes. So, you really should be doing these kinds of things to improve your own health, and even advising your loved ones to do the same kind of things too, because these things are good for you and good for people in general, definitely. So, this is the type of thing that you should be doing. And of course, going to green spaces too. I'm not knocking those either. Yes, those are good for you too. And luckily, a lot of lakes and rivers are close to green spaces too. So that's a good thing too. But waterways, water areas, definitely. You should be putting that in your to-do list of things to do, at least once a month, to improve your own health and well-being. But okay, so now I'm going to go into a quick break, and then I'm going to get right back to the main topics. And so on this break, I'm going to talk about this. I'm just advertising my website, my clothing website. Everybody likes good designs, as well as knowing their online order will come quickly. Go to plainbold.com to get the designs you desire. Your order will come quick like you expect. And while you want quick delivery, you'll have patience for your order, because when it does come, you're going to have the kind of design you'll love. It will make you stand out, and people will notice, and you'll love that. Go to plainbold.com. That's plain bold. That's plain, like airplane. Plainbold.com. Yes. And either way, I mean, I got some notes, and that's what I'm reading off of. But other than that, I'm mainly just like going off the top of my head for the podcast. Now, okay, I'm going to talk about another thing right here, and that's why workplace well-being programs don't achieve better outcomes. And that's based on an article I read about it, and that is, so what's going on is, like, big corporations all over the planet are spending large sums of money, like $200 billion, if you add up all the money being spent on these workplace well-being programs. And studies are showing that these programs are not achieving like any beneficial outcomes. It's like the companies are completely wasting their money on these programs. It's like a complete waste. It's unbelievable. And actually, one thing that I saw, though, was that one thing that actually works in comparison is having like workplace well-being committees instead of a corporate run system for this kind of thing. Because, of course, mental health is a big concern nowadays. A lot of people are having mental health issues. So, I could see why these programs even exist in the first place. So, yeah, of course, there's, good reasons. Like, they have good intentions with these programs. But, it's like... It's like, a lot of people feel this way too. Do you ever get the sense that your job is pretending to care about you as a human being? It's like seeing these programs not performing the way they're supposed to is adding to that kind of thing. So, just think about that. Like, either way, it's like these companies, probably including your own, are totally wasting their money on these programs. And like, as I alluded to, let me get into that too, which is something that's proving to be actually effective in comparison to these programs is there's like safety teams inside of companies, especially like labor jobs. Well, similar to that, it's like, there's a guy that's running it, and then it's like a committee associated with it, and it's like employees involved with it, like coworkers and colleagues, like a small section of the company. Well, just the same kind of thing. That's actually proving to be effective, like grassroots kind of things, rather than some kind of like corporate program. It's not working. So, if the company you work for, and you're just like an employee, not like a boss, like, or even if you're a boss, even this advice can come to you too. Like, if the company you work for has this kind of program, odds are that the program's not working, because statistics are showing that this is the case, like all over the place with all sorts of companies. Maybe your company is really lucky and somehow they're doing something different and it's actually working at your place, but odds are that's probably not the case. So, what I'm trying to say is what you should be doing is like, because a lot of workplaces have anonymous tips that you can add to the management. So what you should do, if you want your company to work better, is like leave an anonymous tip about it and say that maybe we shouldn't be doing this, and instead, lead them in the direction of like what I was saying about a committee, like an employee committee. Take a look more further into this, because I'm talking about something I actually read on the internet, so you can check it out too. You can find it, I'm sure, and once you find it, then you'll see what I'm talking about, and you should leave an anonymous tip about it to your management so that they can improve the company. Let me put it this way too, like, your company's wasting money. Like, why would you like your company to waste money? That money could be better spent. Like, on other things, like, for example, a raise in your pocket. Other things are like, like a company lunch, like more like barbecues, maybe other things that you would rather have the company spending their money on. But why would you let your company waste their money? I mean, it's just not a good idea. So you might as well leave an anonymous tip about it. There you go. Yes. I mean, it's just food for thought right there. But okay, so now I'm going to go on break and I'm going to say another quick ad, and then I'm going to finish the episode with one more topic. So, okay, this thing that I'm going to talk about is this. We all have taste for things like a tasty meal or a taste for good content. We're inclined to seek such content. We have satisfaction finding it. If you want such content, skip the effort, look for currently electrifying videos, and you'll be happy. If you haven't seen our stuff, you'll get a pleasant surprise. We make videos on various topics and do it with an informative and entertaining way. So check out currently electrifying videos on YouTube or Instagram today. Mainly YouTube though, because that's my other thing that I'm doing. I'm not just doing podcasts, I'm also doing short videos on YouTube mainly. Yes, so check that out too, because I'm sure you'll like that content as well. But okay, so now, the last thing that I'm going to talk about in this episode, on my first episode of my podcast, is, okay, well, I'm just trying to find it. It's right here. Okay, it's about teenagers, right? As I mentioned earlier. So, okay, let me start it off by saying this, though. Think of how at ease you'll feel after going through important conversations with your... Oh, actually, no, sorry, those notes... Okay, well, actually, don't worry about that. Sorry. Okay, well, either way. So when it comes to teenagers, the thing is, like, some parents, like, are worried about their teenage child, going to work because they're thinking, you want their grades to be high. And of course, that's understandable. I mean, that's a very important thing. But, at the same time, them going out to work at a job is also important. You have concerns about those grades. You don't want them to slack on the grades. But at the same time, if they go out to work, it's definitely a beneficial thing. Because, they'll get life experience. They'll interact with people they wouldn't be interacting with. They'd get better social skills. They'll be able to experience what it's like getting a paycheck. Instead of having it in their head as a fantasy. And all this experience will actually be beneficial to them too. Think about it, compare your child to someone else's. If someone else isn't letting their kid go work and that child, is at, they end up at 21 years old and they haven't worked at all. Compare that to your own child. If you let your 16-year-old work today, by the time he gets to, or she gets to, 21 years old, that child will have had 5 years of experience in the work, world. Compared to that other child in that example that hasn't had any. Your child will actually have a leg up. You're going to, really benefit your child's future by giving them that kind of life experience. So you really should be letting them going to work. There's a concern about grades. But, you should, have that balance with your child. Talk to them about it, too, especially after they're working already. Obviously, you don't want them to have a full-time job, unless if maybe you do. I don't know. Everyone's a little different. But at the least, let them go out and do a part-time job. It will be beneficial for them. And I'm sure you'll be proud of them, too, of course. Definitely, I'm sure. But, okay, so now that's the end of my first episode. And either way, like I said, go to electriccurrentrundown.com. And then you'll find my schedule, because I'm still working on finalizing a general schedule, and then you'll be able to see my episodes as I keep pushing them out. But this one generally is considered a bonus episode, and I'll be doing bonus episodes too. So, I mean, sometimes I'll even go outside of my schedule too. So keep an eye out for those, like on my channel, whichever platform you're at right now watching this video on. I mean, because I obviously am posting on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, so you might be on either one of those looking at this video. But either way, so that's episode 1 of the Electric Current Rundown ending off right here. But remember, either way, I'm here to encourage the spread of intriguing knowledge that can spark fires in the minds of those seeking inspiration and truly improving the world. That's my show. Phil Defiance, that's me. That's my show, the Electric Current Rundown. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.